Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we're going to talk about a message I received, a little critique, some questions, and some comments came in after the most recent video about what's going on down south. And we're going to go through it and talk about some underlying things in it. Okay, so I have always had a problem with you. I almost never agree, but watch for a unique take. However, I can't remain silent. I'm very disappointed in how easily you brushed aside the unfitness of parents who would subject their children to the trip to the U.S. Do we really want these kinds of people? You honestly seem like you want a stronger built country. Do you really think they'll help? If they don't care about their kids, will they care about anything else? If you're going to use my name and respond to this, please use my name. And then he gives his name. Before we get into this, let's get a real clear picture of the kinds of trips we're talking about, what they are. We have a good narrative from a school teacher who got to witness one with his own eyes. And this is how he describes it. Terrible misery, stench, fumes. Doesn't sound so good. He goes on. Fever, dysentery, headache, heat, constipation, boils, scurvy. Scurvy? I'm on the wrong page. This is how Europeans got here in the 1750s. I'll put this narrative down below in the comments. It's definitely worth looking at. It dispels some myths. You know, we talk a lot about the difference between American history and American mythology. American mythology says European immigrants in the early days, they showed up here, they got off the boat skipping and holding hands, and then they went and made the Liberty Bell or whatever. That is not what happened. That's mythology. American history is very different. They had a horrible trip as well. And then when they got here, they waited off the coast until people came to purchase them off the boat. In this narrative, he talks about baptizing children who were in distress. Do I think these kinds of people will build this country? Well, yeah. It's kind of the only thing that ever has. You want to know a real bizarre historical correlation? The worse the trip was to get here, the more work that group did. There aren't really exceptions to this. If you think about the absolute worst trips to get to the United States, they did most of the work. It's how it's always been. I think we need to get rid of the idea of trying to grasp at straws to demonize and marginalize these groups of people. At the end of the day, they are trying to save their children's lives, trying to save their own lives. There really isn't a whole lot that is out of bounds as far as acceptable behavior when that's your goal. Sending your kid from immediate harm into an admittedly bad situation, but better than what they were in, I don't think that's a sign of being an unfit parent. We also have to acknowledge, again, there is a difference between migrants and asylum seekers. The people who are doing this, they're asylum seekers. Now, you want to talk about those who are just coming here for a job, those that get belittled as economic refugees, fine, talk about them. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I want them too. Because somebody who is willing to leave their home country, go to a place where they don't have connections, don't really speak the language, have very little chance of being able to get too far ahead, to me, that's not somebody you turn away. That is somebody you give a small business loan to because they have drive. They will build this country. There'll be a benefit, just like every group before. I really do suggest reading this because the mythology that surrounds early American immigrants who came here from Europe, it's not real. It's not even close to accurate. What we envision is not what happened. Certainly, it was better than a lot of trips here, but it wasn't easy. And those people certainly put their kids at risk doing it. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.